Hello everyone, this is Al Kabir, the analyst, and today I will be reacting to this clip. Been getting a lot of requests about this clip. When I see Nick Wright, he's an entertaining guy, but I don't really like his takes on the Eagles at all. But I didn't see. I'm lying. I seen 10 seconds of it about how you said Jalen Hurts not an MVP caliber player. But let's get into it, man. Let's watch the whole clip, man, and you will get my initial reaction to this.
Is an MVP caliber player? No. And the thing is, I don't think anyone does. I think
That's the part I thought was disrespectful. So I'm like, okay, he about to get in his bag. Let's hear it. He's not an MVP caliber player. Okay, that's your opinion, but he said nobody does. But let's get into this.
people are like him, which they should. I think they're impressed by how he carries himself, which it would be impressive for a 34-year-old, much less a 24-year-old. I think they root for him because he's kind of a sports underdog, because he lost his job at Alabama, because he wasn't a top 10 pick, a first-round pick. He was a late second-round pick.
Nick Wright, let me just break something down to you. What's been going on with Jalen Hurts past couple years? Noodle arm, get him out of town. He can't throw. All he can do is run. He's a running back. And we heard that narrative time and time again, especially on national shows. So I don't really think people just love Jalen Hurts. That's not a good point. But let's get into it.
And because of all those things, and because some people are quarterback win zealots, they pretend to think he is a fully established player when he is not. And when we know
I think he's fully established. Of course, there's some things he could work on, but his arm, his legs, his vision, he doesn't turn the ball over like your quarterback. No offense, Patrick Mahomes is nice, but he will give you a turnover. His fundamentals is really sound. Of course, every quarterback got something to work on, but the way you're saying is like he's underdeveloped. He's just going to get better, but let's get into it.
Eagles don't yet, at least with his current injury status, trust him fully throwing the football. I watched this playoff game against the Niners when the Niners were drawing dead to move the ball, when the Eagles were up 2 scores, late third quarter, in field goal range. And they called 5 out of 6 plays designed quarterback runs.
That was unwise, though.
But it also...
No, duh. You're up 2 scores, you idiot. Oh, man. He just said that. You're up 2 scores. Why would I call passing plays in the red zone up 2 scores against a team with no quarterback? He did not need to throw the ball. Why would they do that? What's the point? Oh, come on, Nick. I know this is entertainment purposes, but come on, we gotta use some logic sometimes. But let's get back into this.
Also speaks to the fact that maybe it's just because of the injury, or maybe it's because he hasn't fully, kind of fleshed out his...
If it was because of the injury, right? Think, Nick, right? Think. Why would they run the ball with him if it was because of the injury? That don't make sense. You would hand it off. He's doing QB design runs because Kenneth Gainwell was eating them up. Miles Sanders was eating these dudes up. Boston Scott was eating these dudes up. And then, Hurts, we not really passing the ball. Let me get some too. But if it was the injury, why would you let him take contact? Come on, Nick.
Full passing game. They didn't want him throwing the ball there in short chunks to pick up yards and grind the clock. And
you know what's crazy? The same argument he's making today, a lot of people was making earlier in the season. Remember, Jalen Hurts wasn't really passing touchdowns. He was running them in. And a lot of people were saying that, well, they don't trust him in short yardage field position to throwing the ball. Well, if my QB sneak is working 98 to 99% of the time, why would I do that? And a lot of you guys fall for the RPO, right? It's about scoring 6 points. It's not about not trusting a guy in the red zone. It's about getting in the touchdown, not forcing throws, not the fade throw if it's not there. If you guys can't stop the run, why would I throw it? Why would I throw it in the red zone? But back to the clip.
Say, oh, we always run the ball to
grinds the clock.
I understand, but not typically with putting your somewhat injured quarterback at risk. And listen, he has not played well in these playoffs. He has not played well since he got hurt.
Let's break it down. Okay, I keep hearing that narrative too. He comes back the last week of the game. We obviously playing it vanilla because we know more than likely we're going to play the Giants or the Vikings. It's just a vanilla game, throwing the ball. But Giants got backups out there. Cool. We literally blowing the Giants out the next game. Now I'm talking about the playoff game. We're blowing them out by running the ball. Why would I stop running the ball? Now, if people bring this up, I can't argue this point. Giants, he overthrew A.J. Brown. San Francisco, he overthrew A.J. Brown. Both with touchdowns. Now, there might be something there, but to say he was playing bad and he's not turning the ball over, right, that's what it's about. Right, that's what it's about. It's not turning the ball over and we blowing them out. There's no point of just throwing the ball if the run game is working. Our identity at the end of the day is still run, but if we need to pass, we can do it. Ask the Vikings. Ask Tennessee. Just ask some of these teams he threw 300 or close to 300 yards against. Ask those teams if he can throw the ball or not. But back to the clip.
And I think we all know that. I think we've all watched it and seen it. And people are hesitant to say it because he does seem like such a good kid and the story is so good. And he has far exceeded anyone's expectations for what he would play like this season. But he's not if take Patrick Mahomes out of it, he's still not the league MVP.
Then who is?
Joe Burrow would have been on the list without question.
He can be on the list.
Joe Burrow would have been at the top of the list. You guys know how critical I've been of Josh Allen. Josh Allen was better than Jalen this season.
Oh my God, we are.
He just said, Josh Allen's one of my favorite players in the league, but come on, bro. Josh Allen had a down year. That's disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful. And you know, Chiefs fans been a good sport. They haven't really been talking junk or anything like that. But it's guys like him, man. It's guys like this guy that really make you hate Chiefs fans. But it's about 15 seconds left. Let's see what he said.
Really an uncharted territory now.
I mean, they're better players. I'll give you that.
Well, what are we talking about?
But he led.
It's Nick Wright, man. What do you want me to say, man? It's Nick Wright, man. It's Nick Wright who doubted us in 2017, which makes sense. We had a backup quarterback. And who's doubting us now, which makes sense. It's his team playing the Eagles. He don't want to believe Jalen Hurts is at this MVP level. He wants to believe his shoulder is still hurt. He wants to believe Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball. It all makes sense. It's Nick Wright. It's Nick Wright, man. And this got to be pure entertainment because it's no way a guy like Nick Wright studies the game and come up with that type of analysis. It's hard for me to believe. I'm sorry. Josh Allen's better than him. Come on, man. Come on, man. But what do you think, and how do you feel about what Nick Wright said about Jalen Hurts not being an MVP caliber player and Josh Allen is better? But this is Al Kabir, the analyst. Ghost.